We got another movie review quest here from Bobby, a Patreon member. The movie that I actually was excited looking forward to. I haven't seen this movie, but I heard the music so much that it was one of my workout songs. Requiem For A Dream by Darren Aronofsky. And on this episode Movie Breakdowns, we're gonna jump into it. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And before I get started, if there's a movie you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to it as best I can. Also Patreon, Patreon/Ali Zakka. And for $2 a month, get the cut in front of everybody. Get your review out way before it comes on Facebook and YouTube. You also get trailer reactions, trailer reviews, and much more content on there. And also pretty much quick conversations and stuff like that. Now, let's go ahead and get into 2000s. Darren Aronofsky's Requiem For A Dream. And what is this movie about? This movie is about four individuals who aspire for something more, who are going after their goals and going after their dreams, but life takes a turn and they find themselves going into a spiral by the end of the movie. That is the basis of Requiem For A Dream. They have these goals they're going after, these visions of grandeur, and pretty much it takes a sideways turn and they just spiral out. That is pretty much the basis of this Darren Aronofsky's movie. And the reason I keep saying Aronofsky so much because in the movie Mother, I messed his name up badly. So I'm like, oh, if I know how to say his name right, so I'm gonna keep saying it. But anyway, the things I like in this movie, it's a basic movie. Like the acting is solid. The premise of the movie is solid. Like it's pretty much a solid movie. Things I didn't like is that's also the same thing. It's a solid movie. Like it was kind of dry for me. This movie was kind of dry. Like I didn't really feel the tension. You know, there's tension being built up. I didn't really feel the tension behind these characters. Maybe because like they knew what they was doing can get them in a bad spot, and it was almost like a quick fix to get their goals and dreams. When in reality, the quick fix is not. Would never work out in the end, and they find themselves in that same situation. One lady wants to lose weight because she believes she'll get put on TV, and it's her goal to get put on TV, and she wants to get put on TV so bad, and she wants to fit in this red dress of her that she had. And by her trying to get to that point, she started taking these pills, and these pills really just made her start to lose her mind and go crazy. She's not eating, and she really just put herself in a downward spiral at that point. And everybody's kind of like, lady, like her son tells her, like, hey, don't do this. You're gonna, it's not gonna end well. And she said, no, I want to be happy. This is my goal. This is my dream. And her dream leads her into a mental health institution at the end of the movie. That's where she goes to and pretty much loses her hair and everything and just kind of like down and out. Then you have two other people, the main character and his friend, who are dealing cocaine, and they find themselves losing their dealer and losing their source, their supply, the plug. They find themselves missing the plug, and they try to find a way to make more money so they can make a living, and find themselves at the end of the movie spiraling out as well. Not only are they selling this stuff, but they're also on this stuff. One guy loses his arm. The other one is in a kind of like in a prison where they're making him work, and you can even see him going through the draw at the end of the movie, and he thinks back to his mother. And then you have one who, she has a rich family but doesn't want to follow what the family's doing, and I believe I got that right. I could be completely wrong. They probably something in passing, but she finds herself having sex for money at the end of the movie, like. And all she wants to be is with her boyfriend, who wants more about cocaine and getting high and trying to make money. So like it's just literally spiraling out of control. And I believe her family is wealthy because Jared Leto's character tells Jennifer Connelly's character, like, why you been around here? You have all these things you can do. And she's like, I want to be with you. Well, her being with him was the reason what her spiral caused. So like their goals and their ambitions in this movie was causing a spiral out. And to me, it was just a dry movie. Like, I got the premise of it. It just wasn't really that entertained watching this movie. I was kind of bored a little bit watching this movie. You know, I understood what was going on. I watched what was going on. I just wasn't completely attached to this movie and completely like all in this movie. You know, I was excited to watch this movie. I just, by the end of the movie, I was just like, okay, Aronofsky, I know you do all this different stuff to be weird and do different camera angles and camera tricks and do this and this and this, but how about you give us more of a solid story versus just like, well, I'm gonna do a camera angle here, I'm gonna do a speed walk here, and have them lose them. I get it. I get the practical effects and the effects and stuff like that in this movie, and I can see why people love this movie because of those effects. But for me, it was just like, somebody who watched superhero movies, special effects is, I'm used to it. So what are you gonna do to get me, you know, more intrigued into this? And as far as the characters goes, it was just like watching, it was like literally watching me watching people lose their minds and spiral out, and just like, yeah, I don't know, I didn't get an attachment to the characters. That's probably what hurts the movie for me. But I think somebody else will watch this movie and they probably get attached to these characters. Like, I don't know, just to me, I wasn't attached to them. So just watching them spiral out of control, just like, man, it sucks. But let's see what happens at the end here. That's kind of my thought process of it. The music is one last thing I'm going to talk about here. And I love the soundtrack. The Requiem For A Dream soundtrack. I work out to that soundtrack. It's one of my favorite songs. When I first heard it, I actually heard it and with an anime. It was an AMV back in the day, and it was Luffy versus Rob Lucci, and they fought each other in One Piece, and they had Requiem For A Dream playing in the background. Like, it was the CP9 versus the Straw Hat Pirates, and it was going from like the beginning of the song to the whole end. The song's like 6 minutes long. You listen to the main song, and I was waiting for that main drop to happen in this movie. I never got the main drop, but the actual song is legit, and it gets me pumped every time I hear it. So I was excited to hear the song in this movie, and then the scenes they were playing it with, I was like, oh, the song seems more intense and more like grandiose than what we got in this movie. And I was like, the song doesn't match the movie, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. People are going to enjoy this movie. This movie's an okay movie. It's like, it's a good movie. It's solid. It's a solid movie. Like, it's good. It's good. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the cast and crew and directors and budget. So this movie, like I said, directed by Darren Aronofsky. Writers is Herbert Shelby Jr., which this movie is based off a book, and then Darren Aronofsky wrote the screenplay. And the budget for this movie was $4,500,000. It grossed worldwide $7,300,000. This movie came out in 2000. It is rated R, and this movie is also an hour and 42 minutes. I think the hour and 42 minutes was perfectly fine for this movie. The cast here, we have Ellen Burstyn, who plays Sarah Goldfarb. I thought she did good. Thought her portrayal of Ellen was great. Thought Sarah did a great job, and being the character who, like, I got this goal and then she's losing her mind. Like, I thought she did great. Jared Leto as Harry. Thought Jared Leto did a good job as well. Jennifer Connelly, who played Marion, thought she did great. Thought she was fantastic in her role. There's some choices in the movie for Jennifer's character that didn't make sense to me. Like, Jennifer goes through, or I guess Marion, I should say, goes through a moment where she starts tearing up the apartment. And I'm guessing because she needed more drugs, or she wanted a relationship so bad that she wanted to take it from anybody, and she's tearing up this place because Harry was acting like he didn't really care. He's more about getting the money and everything. So Jennifer's like, or Marion's like, why is he here? Why doesn't he seem like he cares? I had to go sleep with somebody to get the money for you, and you don't seem to care about this. And like, she's like upset, and she's tearing up the place, but then like never really confronts him in this movie. And when the moment they do have a confrontation, it was super like quick, and he leaves, and you're just like, kind of wish we got more of that. And then she's feeling lonely and everything, so she goes and finds people to fill that void of physical touch. But I think Jennifer Connelly did a good job. Marlon Wayans, who played Tyrone, Marlon Wayans did a good job in this movie. Somebody who I see Marlon Wayans as a comedian. So for him to be a serious character in a movie, I thought he did great. I didn't like the fact they made him a drug addict, but whatever. I think Marlon Wayans was a great actor in this movie. And Christopher McDonald, who played Tappy, I don't know, the dude from Flubber. That's the only reason I'm pointing him out. He's from Flubber, and I didn't want to watch Flubber again, so it was fun seeing the guy from Flubber in this movie. And then a few other things, like there's a bunch of other Aronofskys in this movie. So either, I know they're related to Darren, but either his family members like mom and dad or older brothers, sisters. I think that's the cool thing that he let his family members be in this movie. Any other thoughts? No, not really. Like the music, I think the soundtrack is the Requiem for a Dream soundtrack is phenomenal. And yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty much the other thing I would add. I guess the camera angles and camera tricks were fine, but I've seen all that stuff before, and to me, I'm not sure if it's the first movie that ever did it before. No. Clockwork Orange did the same thing. A few scenes where like the speeding scene where people walking and speeding everything up and all this thing. Clockwork Orange did the same exact thing. So that's an older movie trick that happened in this movie. So to me, it was fine. It's a great movie. It's dull, not really much color, not really much pop, but it's a fine movie. Is this a Friday night movie? Nah, it's not a Friday night movie. Watch your friends and family, getting everybody together to watch this movie. I don't think everybody be invested in and great time. I'm gonna grade Requiem for a Dream from the year 2000 a solid C. This movie gets a C from me, 75%. Like I said, it's a solid movie. It's not one I'm gonna be raving about, but it's also like not one I'm be like, oh, it's bad. No, it's a solid movie. Like people will get the point of this movie, people will watch it, people will be entertained at certain points, and people will just kind of follow along. Like, yeah, it's solid. I think the only reason I know this movie is because of the soundtrack. It's literally probably the only reason I know this movie. Other than that, I don't know this. I don't know anybody else who talks about this movie. By the way, the composer for this movie, let me see if I can find him real quick. It's Clint Mansell, I want to say his name is, but don't want to be wrong on that. Yeah, Clint Mansell. So Clint Mansell is a composer of it. And like I said, I heard his music so much with AMVs, which is like anime motion videos that people put on, you know, YouTube back in the day with people fighting each other like Naruto versus Sasuke or Luffy versus Lucy, and you hear Requiem for a Dream in the background, you're like, let's go! You get hyped because the soundtrack is in the background, you're like, let's do this. Like, literally, it was that fight with the Straw Hats versus CP9 with Requiem for a Dream, like, was awesome. I played that video on repeat so many times. So whoever made that out there on YouTube, thank you for that. And then the person who did Dragon Force Fury of the Storm with Luffy versus Lucy. Oh, it's another great one. But anyway, this movie gets a C for me. This thing's a solid movie. Acting was good. Like, to me, I didn't take anything else out of this movie. It was a solid movie, and people might talk about the camera work and everything, but I just thought it was okay. Like, I was like, okay, I'm fine with this. This is a solid movie. What else? That being said, IMDb gives this movie a 8.3 out of 10, which is a B-. Rotten Tomatoes, the critics give it a 79%, which is a C+. The audience gives the movie a 93%. That's an A-. And Vudu gives it 4 out of 5, which is a 90%. Or no, I guess 4 out of 5 would be a B. So that's a B. So a B and 85%. So yeah, that's everybody else's thoughts on this movie. If you've seen Requiem for a Dream, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.